What's up, guys? So,
What up?
just want to send you guys a couple updates about what's been going on since Yada's been here almost 2 weeks. So her imprisonment is almost over. I have a whole week to go. So we wanted to kind of just send out some updates, kind of what's been going on with us, how things have been going, just so you guys can hear what's up, what's been going on. So I'll let you start. You've had more going on than I have, so go for it.
I'm trying to think. So coming in was really, it actually wasn't that bad with Ren. She's been a trooper since day one. Even the people at airport, I pick her up and have to bring her through security. She couldn't stay in her bag, and they were like, "Has she traveled before?" And I was like, "No, she hasn't." And she just slept the entire time. Did a great job. What a trooper. Got on ground, made over here, and everything got furniture already set up. My sponsor who helped me, his name is Doug. He's been awesome in helping me get settled in. The day after that, we actually had our battalion org day. So I was able to go out, and that just means organizational day. So it's kind of like a big company picnic, if you want to think about that. Just so happened to land on the day after I arrived. And then met a whole bunch of people, knew their staff. Got to get the tempo, a little bit of like the vibe of the unit I'm going into. Seems pretty cool. I wouldn't say people are chill per se, but it sounds like we have enough on our plate to make sure weekends aren't boring, and that during the weekday you're not counting down the hours of that. It's just like you're actively engaged. So on the weekends you can go off and go do stuff. Pretty much the last 2 weeks, just in processing paperwork and going to appointments and figuring that all out. Some cooler things is, since David's arrived, is no longer having to be chaperoned everywhere or shuttled by other people. I finally got a car. It's a Cube, so it's like what the little hamsters drove in like commercials in 2010.
Yeah, it's a Nissan Cube, and what's the cool story about that Cube?
So the chaplain that's currently in the unit is about to PCS, and so he is selling it to us for $500, which at the same point, vehicles around here average go about to 1,000 to all the way up to 6,000 if they're brand new, or I should say pretty much brand new, like a 2 years off. So we're getting ours and for only 5,000 or 500, and the great thing with that is that it has very limited miles on it. It has under 50,000 miles or kilometers on it, and it's actually a pretty great car because like leading up to today, we went and did yard sale shopping on Zama. So we're still restricted to here on housing and Zama itself. But Zama had a big post-yard sale, which Zama's not that big, so it wasn't like everybody and their mother out, but a few people were out, enough to get what we're sitting in now, which are some awesome Ashley Furniture bar stools. We got some curtains, as you see over yonder. We don't need okay. They look like hospital curtains, so bear with me. They look like hospital curtains, but they do the job. That, and they're kind of harder to get these type of curtains because they have the rails on the top, so they're not like a pressure or a tension line curtain. It's little hooks you have to put into. And sorry, Rhea's going nuts.
She seems okay. So
She's going nuts. Anyway, so we got curtains for our room, both of the rooms upstairs, this room. And it was one of the people in my unit that we've been hanging out with. Her name is Jordan. And she gave it to us for free. She's like, hey, I'm not going to use these. I don't really like curtains in my house. Someone gifted them to me, so I'll give them to you. And I was like, it's freaking bombing. Yeah. So we got that. We got chairs. We got another rug. We got a little seating area for the cats.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't even know what to... It's kind of like a bench, but it has like a little area where you can like almost put your arms, I'd say.
in a coming video, I'm gonna do like a kind of a walkthrough for you guys.
Oh,
so
smart.
it's kind of like
It's
what
a
our
light share.
world looks like.
Yeah.
We didn't want to get you like blank slate, so we
So-
have furniture. So
It's the white chair. I'll leave it at that. We also got what's the table called?
it's called a kotatsu table.
Yeah, we got one for $50, which actually isn't too shabby. It's the type of, I'd say tables, traditional Japanese, is closer to the floor. It looks like a coffee table almost. In the wintertime, you put almost like a comforter on top of it, or a thicker blanket. And then you can put another slab or another table, like a tabletop on top of it. Just like a hard, not with the legs, just another hard stand. And underneath is actually a heating element. So the idea is that you stick your legs underneath and you're sitting at this coffee table and it warms up your legs. So now we're looking for like little seats to go with it. And so we have a more traditional style Japanese when you come in. The other thing we got was, we got a video game and some kitchen utensils,
Some kitchen stuff.
which
Yep.
was really neat because it was a donation only. So they were like, take whatever you want. We just ask for a donation in return how much you deem. That's the
It's
cat.
There's a echoing ball.
Yeah, how much you deem worthy. So along with that, I got some Puma shoes that are brand new. We got a kettle. And then we went over to somebody else's house and we picked up some bento boxes. So they're not really like, they're plastic, but they look really pretty. And we got them for a few bucks. So it's like we're getting there for this stuff. She's just playing with her little bell, man. Okay, bye! Just close the door on her. It's okay. She has another hallway to play with. And we got her like two bags of balls, or like some of them are like squishy ones and some of them are ones with bells in them.
And she's just going to town, so we're just kind of
She's kind of happy with them, which we're good. Like we're happy with because they're predominantly here. As for the cats, I think they're adapting pretty well with not having anything in the house. They're used to like grandma and grandpa's on my side, so mom and dad having free range with that. Now it's here. It's like, oh, there's not really much here, so we're trying to order some stuff on Amazon. We are able to order things on Amazon. Don't get me wrong, limited stuff. We got Amazon, as well as some of the exchange we can order through. But again, it's also limited. So we're kind of just waiting to get out into the community, and that's when we can purchase things.
So as we, in a future video, I'll talk to you guys about some of those odds and ends. If you guys are reading the blog, we sent out those instructions. It is very, very particular, so please, if you haven't read it, please go on there, read it. There's just a lot of more information in the blogs, so. Cool. Well, what else has been going on since we've had just nothing but endless meetings and walking around, and we've had a car situation. What was the cool thing with the other car? You want to talk about that?
Oh, okay. So I got the one vehicle I have now. It's a Nissan Cube, and we got that from the chaplain who's about to leave. It's another captain. We're senior captain, I should say. But for the second vehicle, I'm gonna be getting in the next few weeks. We have a master sergeant who's actually going off to sergeant major school, off in I think he said Bliss.
I think he said Bliss. Yep, Bliss.
He's going for a year and then going off to even bigger, better things, do sergeant major's things. So he is giving us, or we're gonna be able to buy his vehicle from him for $800, which is still pretty good. Because again, like I said, on the low end, usually people are spending about $1,500 to get a vehicle. So we're getting about half off. A pretty nice car. I believe it's a Cube as well, which. That's the funny thing is these cubes are actually pretty big.
Man, the size of the trunk is amazing.
It's very. I didn't realize how deep they are. Like I said, we have bar stools and we could sit them up. Like we had them both standing up and we're able to fit them into this car, which are the bar stools we're sitting in now. So they're probably like what 4 feet because they have a back as well.
Yeah, easily 4 feet.
So, yeah, it's pretty. They're not like long, but they work pretty well.
I will say I was giving it poop for the longest time.
Yeah, we both were talking a little bit about
trash
it.
talking it, and it's like, what is this garbage? Yeah, there's a reason you can't bring an American car here.
You shouldn't.
She has
You don't need
survived
to.
the drive now 3 times. I told her, it's like, hey, 3 times the charm. Look at that.
Yeah, we got no accent.
There's a lot of rules with all
Yeah.
that stuff, so we'll leave that for a later video and or blog. But
There's not It's not too many. Big thing is just drive on the left-hand side,
Mm-hmm.
and their stop signs are red, but they're triangles.
Like upside down triangles too.
Upside
It's
down
like
triangles.
super
So-
weird.
And the biggest thing in this country is slow. Like,
Yeah.
nothing, even on the interstates, you're going 60 kilometers, which is, you're hitting like 80 kilometers max per hour, which is still sitting around like 50, 60. And that's like max. If you're going a little bit higher than that, police have a tendency to pull you over because they don't condone that.
Yeah, there's none of that going on. Big thing for Miata is she cannot get in an accident at all. I'll just put that out there. We could write about it, but basically the way that their
Besides
agreement
like
is,
the standard, you don't want to get
you don't want to
into
get in an
it.
accident, right? But in Zama, for either on duty or off duty, you have to call the MPs like immediately once you either hit something, clip something, touch another person, anything. You got to stop where you are and call the MPs, and it's a huge thing. So
They get a translator to come out to make sure that the local nationals are being taken care of, and then I, on the other hand, will get like Article 15 or something along those lines, where it's not quite. It won't follow me where I go, but it puts you under like a little bit more of a lockdown. Yeah. Where they eventually, if you do it like twice or 3 times, they'll just take your license away from you for 6 months, and they're like, "Well, figure it out. You're taking the bike to work."
So, but that's stuff with Miata. Anything else you want to add? Is there other cool things you got?
Cat. Not too much. The unit seems, like I said, pretty cool. It seems like it's kind of the tempo of 3 through 1, so it's like high intensity, slow down for all periods. So it's a lot of stop and go, like the Army is. The Army is kind of have a natural tendency to sprint to stop. So I've dealt with like something like this before. The only difference is that it's in Japan, and that not that many people have the opportunity to be here. So at the end of the day, I'm still freaking. I'm gun ho and happy to be here, and yeah, we're already integrating a lot of practices into our life that we haven't really been doing stateside. Just trying to go to the gym more. We started doing that a little bit before we came here, but we're still trying to keep that in. Healthy eating habits, of course, and then getting out of the house. We're kind of notorious to do that in Williamsburg.
So,
Or go to like one store and then come back. But now that we're here, once we get out, making a mission to go and see stuff. And you'll see it when David does like the walkthrough of the house. We have a whole map of Japan. We haven't quite pinned where we want to go. We haven't sat down, but at the same point, we're going to make game plans as we go. We have 3 years
to figure it out.
Yeah, but 3 years we know goes by fast.
So,
What about you, man?
Yeah, so I've been here now 4 days. And
You jet lag?
no jet lag. The sun does rise early. I have been consistently getting up at about 4 in the morning every day. It's been awesome. I will say this. So there's 2 different places you can live. You can either live on main Camp Zama, or here, which they call SHA. I love SHA. It's super quiet in the morning. No one's really out. People start getting out about 6, and that's when they're walking dogs and stuff. But 4 in the morning, peaceful, quiet. Funny enough, we live where all the kids are, so
Not
the
too
little
close.
kids, not the bigger kids. The bigger kids have that middle school, high school. They're all pretty much on the main post. But in the afternoon, they're running around, which is cool. It's good seeing kids in the community. So definitely the 4 days I've been here, I've walked everywhere. You walk a lot here. You go to post, you're walking everywhere.
Well, the nice thing with posts is if you're not including the golf course, if you're walking from one post to one side of the post to the other, it's about 2 miles. Like one side and walking to get to the residential on the other side. Probably a little actually under 2 miles. You add the golf course, it's just another mile. So like you go starting on one side post, walk to the other side post, and come back, it's about 6 miles, if that. Probably a little bit less. So it's not, and then width-wise, I don't even think a half a mile.
It's not.
It's probably like a quarter of a mile. So it's like,
You
it's
can-
a really small post, like extremely small.
But it's really well laid out. I think that's what I found since I've been here is it's condensed, so everything you need is right next to everything else. Obviously, I have a haircut since my last video. The barbers here are amazing, so that was cool for me. I will say that some of the big things is you meet a lot of people here. Unlike Eustis, where yes, it's a small post.
Not as small as here.
Not as small as here. So the community is awesome. So I've had almost like conversations with 30 people in the span of a day, and it's just you're just meeting interesting people. So Miyata had the weird run-in with the chief of staff with the U.S. Army Japan chief. So he was pretty cool. His name is Mr. Philip Owens.
Civilian. I was getting my badge to go into the vault because one of the things we do a lot of my upcoming job is going to be a little bit more. I wouldn't say secret squirrel because it's not that. It's just a little bit more classified. So they're requiring me to get a badge. So I was in there, being my little peppy self, my new captain self, and I'm like, ooh, I'm excited to be here. And so I'm talking to the guy at the front desk, and Mr. Owens walks in, and he's trying to put his thing, and then he was like, oh, you seem like a new face. And we started up a very light conversation at the end of it. It was like, okay, bye-bye. Later on, I should say the next day, David was coming with me. I work in the same building, and I was like, hey, we need to go to the building next door. So just come with me into this building. They have a cafe. You can just sit there while I go run and do some things. I came back. We got up. I went out the door, and then I held the door open for the people behind me. And it happened to be Mr. Owens and another individual. And he was like, ah, you. And he was like, oh, you. Hey, Mr. Owens. I think he said Thomas Owens or something. I don't remember his first name.
Philip Owens.
Philip Owens. He's like, Philip Owens? David was like, David Schenecker. And he's like, you seem like you got a good head on your shoulders. And then pretty much went into a...
elevator pitch in like 3 seconds.
Yeah. What do you do? And so it was like an impromptu interview. And at the end, the guy was like, that sounds pretty awesome. Sounds like you got a good head on your shoulders. Send me your resume and some information about yourself. I want to see what my guys can do. So, and he was saying that he's always trying to get spouses to get the jobs on posts. So hopefully something pans out. If not, but it's still cool the fact that I ran into one person one time and just had a good casual conversation with them, and then I turned around and opened the door for something else. So I was like, this is a very small post. If I had a brief interaction and he remembered my face long enough to, when he saw this guy, to be like, ah!
Hey. But that's I guess the fun thing for me is you get to just meet all these crazy cool people. I met another great guy. She works in the same building as Miyata. His name's Alex. He runs the motorcycle class. I've been talking to him a lot. I'm going to be heading to the basic course to start off getting a motorcycle license. Super interesting fun fact: you don't actually need an American motorcycle license to take the motorcycle licensing class. So it's a 3-day thing. So I'm going to do that because why not?
Most installations stateside offer it. We just didn't think over in Japan they would offer it. But actually, they very much support it because it's one of the, I would say, the safer modes of transportation to actually take here. And it leaves a lesser footprint, so they actually want people to go and actually attend this.
Mm-hmm. So met him, so he's cool. We went to a hail and farewell last night. So there was a little weird. There's 2 of them, same day, super weird. The bowling alley, by the way, is awesome.
Yeah.
Sundays you can have it's $1
As $1
per
for
game.
shoe rental.
Shoe rental
and
and
$1
game.
per game.
So $2 to bowl on Sundays. So I mean that place is probably bumping tomorrow. You can't beat $1. So we went there. We got to enjoy bowling for the first part. Then we came over here to where we live, and it's like a nice dining facility. They call it the SHA Club. Yeah. It's a bar section and an actual formal dining area. So 2 things. We've met the manager twice now. Ran in today as we went groceries, walking, can't call it driving. And he's just a fun guy. Just a real fun guy to hang out with. He's super funny. So definitely awesome people. I've noticed that in my 4 days since being here. Let's see. Probably I cook, So the food quality here is phenomenal. Way different than the States. You're not getting a lot of preservative food. They don't really do that here. Everything is a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruit, a lot of fruit.
Well, that's what
You know, very
But we-
farm fresh type stuff.
I do have to say. We have only been on the commissary, so.
Yeah. So in the commissary, when you walk in,
I was gonna say commissary is very much set up like stateside commissary,
so
but it's not actually like I was thinking that a lot of their fruits were gonna be a little bit more like not expired, but like a little
Mm.
rough. They're not too bad. Yeah, it's there. It just makes me excited to go see what's outside the gate.
like, as
'Cause
we
people have-
drive, I mean, we drive to work and we have that one
Yeah.
little like market like where they call it death row because you have all these biker people just running across the street.
Well, it's so the road lanes are extreme. They're very small. If you were to have the roads in America with American-sized vehicles, the vehicles wouldn't be able to get past each other. So mix that with the fact that people actually stand out in lines to get into shops. So they're lining the road. They're in the road. That's why they call it this like death highway, is because it's like you have people who are driving in there trying to go, and then you have people lining the streets because the vendors are good. But
So walking does seem to be safer.
I was gonna say, we're not planning to do that.
Yes.
I do have to say, we're not-
doing that. We do know that it's only about 2 miles to get to Post from where we live, so, and the chaplain who dropped off the car ran back, so it's not that far away.
Yeah, we met him the following or like later afternoon, so he made it.
You did make
So
So we know that that's good. But other than that, I mean, it has been fun for the last 4 days. I won't get off my imprisonment until next week on the
Yeah, you're
22nd. But yeah, more stuff to come. Please, if you haven't taken some time to peruse the website, I'm gonna give a shout out again to Alyssa, who's been making that website look awesome. It should be super easy to find stuff now. You guys have the calendar that's kind of gives you guys all our fun stuff that we're up to, so you guys can track that. Again, like I stated in the last blog, we're not going to hit you with every single event. There's way too much going on. Miata and I have something going on almost like every weekend, so just track that for major events. Other than that, guys, the podcast will be coming out this weekend, so that again is just kind of my small thoughts here and there of what's kind of going on. Might feature Miata, might not. That's kind of the one I reserved just to kind of give you guys some unfiltered content. But other than that, these have been fun. What are your thoughts with the funness with the videos? I've been enjoying it.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Dragging her along. She hates this stuff, so
I don't hate it.
I'm kidding.
Maybe do 14 videos though.
I did make her do 14.
Maybe not 14, but you definitely made me do 5. Ouch. Oh, I'm just kidding.
Fun stuff. But yeah, so I think that's all we and for you guys on this video. Hope you guys, I know it's long. Stay tuned. We're going to do the walkthrough here coming up in a few days. So get ready for more fun and exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love and miss you guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.